Good afternoon and welcome to the Real Man, Real Leaders podcast. Today is March the 12th. It's kind of warm outside. Man, I don't think we'd have much of winter, but that's okay. I'll take spring any day. Hey, today's episode is sponsored by El Zarape. Everybody knows about El Zarape, right? And they sell chips too, but here's a couple of different salsas, the mild, and I think this is hot. But we want to thank Miguel and Eileen for sponsoring this episode, and yeah, go check them out. Great Mexican food. This podcast, I always say, is about leadership. People doing what they do in their capacities, whether it's a private business, public, nonprofit. We are putting people on so they can tell us their story, how they got where they're at today. And today we have Corporal Ashley Crockett. Welcome, Ashley. How are you doing today? You doing well?
Good. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, and I know Ashley. I've known her some time because I used to work with her husband, Brian. Brian is a real estate agent, and they own Crockett & Co. He's a broker there, and a great guy, and we used to work together with Envision Real Estate. But welcome. We're glad to have you. And how we're going to begin, tell us, how'd you end up in Garden? You're not from this area, right? Because
No.
we've had side conversations.
Yeah, not really.
Tell us how you ended up in Garden and we'll slowly get into doing,
Yeah, so my parents met each other in Stillwater, which is the campus for OSU.
Yeah.
And they were students there.
Okay.
And they married and had us kids.
Okay.
My dad was going to school for agriculture. And my mother was an art student. And so after he got his degree, it was the natural thing to move to where the grain was.
Yeah.
And so we ended up in Southwest Kansas. My mom really hated it. She was a city girl and she just absolutely hated it. Plus, having an art degree, there isn't a whole, it's pretty general.
Yeah.
Degree. So she went back to school to become an architect.
Oh, wow.
And my dad kind of pioneered crop consulting.
Okay.
And
which is big in this area.
Yeah, but it wasn't a thing back then.
Oh, really?
So he was kind of one of the first. Farmers used to just put whatever their daddies put on the fields.
Wow.
And,
I guess that would be true.
Yeah. So that's how we ended up in this area anyways. And my dad raised me because my mom went back to school. And so he was raising me and my brother.
Wow. Yeah.
And out.
Now, we're one here, though.
Plains, Kansas. I went to grade school.
Okay.
And I did move back with my mom for a middle school.
Okay.
But I missed it out here.
Did you?
My mom was living in Tulsa.
At that time, right?
Oklahoma City area. And I just never enjoyed living in the city. I missed Southwest Kansas. Mm. And at the time, I was a sophomore. And I came back and my dad happened to be living in Sublette, And
a lot of farm ground around there.
Yeah. Well, he had acres all over the state, so he was rarely home.
Oh, so he was doing his thing.
Yeah, he was out checking fields.
Okay.
Yep. And so anyways, I really liked Garden. We would come out to Garden to cruise Maine.
Everybody did, I think.
Yeah, when that was a real big thing. And I really liked Garden. It was like not a city, but it still had that small town feel to it.
Yeah, I think it always has and still does to this.
And it really, you have everything you need here,
Mm-hmm.
but it's still not the city,
Mm-hmm.
And then the diversity here really drew me to this community.
Cool.
And then I started going to the JUCO out here. So I got a scholarship and came out here, but I suck.
A scholarship for?
Art. Yeah.
Oh, you were an artist too then. Mm-hmm. You still have that desire sometimes?
I do it on the side. So,
Oh, you do. I think
yeah.
you might.
I mean, it might just as a hobby.
Okay.
You know, just as
Painting.
a hobby.
What?
I paint, I sculpt, I draw. You know,
Oh, cool.
whatever.
That's good because I would guess the type of work you're in, man, that's kind of de-stresses you or, decompresses you a little bit.
Yeah, you got to have an outlet.
Yeah, I think we all do. Mm-hmm. Whether it's working out, whether it's art, whatever it is.
Yep.
That's cool. Mm-hmm. So at some point you met Brian, right? You met Brian.
So I started working at the sheriff's office and I met Brian because he was working there too. And but he did not like it.
Yeah.
And so he only lasted about a year and a half.
I forgot to say, I did work with Brian too when at Cox Communications. I meant to say that.
I didn't know you were.
I was there. Yeah, I worked for them for about 10 years. I was in government and public affairs, and Brian at that time was out in the field.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, he worked there.
And really, that's where I got to know him. And then it was real estate.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So cool. So you met Brian, and then you have a family, right?
Yeah.
And you have your couple sons, right?
Yeah, I have. So, I met Brian at the sheriff's office, and each of us had a child from a prior marriage.
Okay. Yeah.
And so going into it, we've always had kids.
Well, you listed.
Yeah.
You do have a blended family.
Yes.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. And then we had two together, our boys.
Yeah. And what's their names?
Max and Fred.
Yeah, Max and Fred.
then our older is Sterling and Isabel.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And 2 grandbabies now.
Oh, wow. Mm-hmm. The family's growing.
Yes. Yeah.
You feel like a grandma?
I do, but being a grandparent is so awesome.
It really is, because I am too. I have 2
It's so
grandchildren.
awesome.
It is. It really is.
It's like reliving,
Yeah.
raising your kids. It's just,
Yeah.
in a way, I mean, you see that kid and it's like,
Yeah.
it just brings you back.
It brings joy,
Yeah.
right? Brings you joy. They're so innocent, you realize. But yeah, grandchildren are great. We have
My
couple,
grandson only lives a block from me.
which is sweet, right?
It's so cool.
Yeah.
And
I bet you probably see him almost every day or every other day, maybe.
Yeah, something like that.
What's his name?
Brian.
Brian. Oh, Brian.
Yep.
Okay.
Another Brian.
Well, good. And so you marry Brian, you're here in Garden now. When did you go to work for I noticed you've been there for since 2002.
Yeah.
Since you were 24 years old.
Yeah.
Which is a little older now, 2002, kind of gives it away, but.
So my dad, he was always telling me as a kid to explore what you love, because if you're doing what you love, you'll never work a day.
And that's so true. Yeah.
Yeah.
I believe that.
And so it kind of set me on a mission to try things and figure out what I like to do. And I knew I liked art, but how do you make money,
Tough to make money.
Yeah.
I mean, now there are artists.
There's ways.
Oh, yeah. It can make big money.
Yeah, there are ways.
Yeah.
But,
It takes a while to build that up, right?
Yeah. So I got married too young and dropped out of college.
Sure.
And started experimenting with different jobs.
Sure.
And I was waitressing. Mm-hmm. And I really liked that, the people aspect.
The connection, right.
I enjoyed that part of it. And every week, this group of people would come in from, which it was SDSI at one time.
Oh, yeah.
But it's Mosaic now.
Mm-hmm.
But they would come in and a lot of the waitresses didn't like to wait on them, and I loved to wait on those people. They waited for their check all week and they were out to have a meal out,
Right. That's wonderful.
And they were just, they loved.
Well, they're like anybody else, right?
Yes.
I mean, maybe not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They loved life and they were so excited to be out and
they
in
do.
our community. And so I really enjoyed that. And I thought, well, maybe I need to start doing that. So I did that for a few years. I worked for a couple different, we have a lot of agencies that do provide services in our community. So I worked for a few of them, and but I was a single parent at the time, and I was living paycheck to paycheck because
That's tough.
It just doesn't pay.
Yeah.
What
it's tough. Yeah.
It probably should, and because it's such a needed service.
It's needed. It's rewarding. You're helping some of the most vulnerable or people who need us. And it's unfortunate. Some people just look down on them, and that's too bad.
Yeah.
All people need help. All people need love, regardless of the challenges they face. But well, good for you.
Yeah. So, anyways, I did that for quite a while, but I got sick with my gallbladder, and I went to the doctor, and they're like, "Oh, you have stones," which is common.
Yeah.
It's a common thing.
Yeah.
It's an easy fix. They just remove your gallbladder. The doctor comes back in and he says, "Well, I'm sorry, but your insurance won't cover any surgery." And I was like,
The type of insurance you had at that time.
"Yeah."
Wow.
What? I can't.
That's a typical surgery too.
Yeah. I mean, it's a.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I didn't know what to do. And I thought,
wow.
I'm doing what I love. I'm happy. But what if that had been my daughter?
Yeah. You really got to stop and think about that.
And so I thought, I really need to maybe think outside the box, on what I need to be doing.
Yeah.
And I noticed that, at my work, our clients live out in the community. It was a big no-no to get law enforcement called on your client or someone in the community.
Sure.
They have behaviors sometimes.
Yeah, they do.
So you have to learn to
deal with them.
To watch for cues and de-escalate them quickly. Because if law enforcement is called, you're done. So, and when you're living paycheck to paycheck, you really watch your guys.
Yeah.
And so I got really good at that. But I thought, that's kind of what law enforcement does in a way. That might be a skill that could be useful in law enforcement, So I took a couple criminal justice classes, but I noticed a lot of people in my class were already working in law enforcement. And I thought, well, shoot, I assumed you needed a degree, to work in law enforcement. And so I went down to the sheriff's office, the law enforcement center, and the police department and the sheriff's office were arguing about who was going to give me a tour. And I had never shot a gun in my life. So I thought, well, I'm going to go with the sheriff's office because if I go with the police department, they'll just kick me out on the street. And, I have a lot to learn. Maybe I can ease my way in if I go with the sheriff's office. So I started in the jail because that's where you start, is in the jail. And it was a struggle for me. But I was like, they're going to have to throw me out. I'm just going to keep messing up and learning from my mistakes.
Wow. And I guess, it doesn't matter, men or women, that's where you're going to start, right? Yeah. In jail.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't imagine that.
Yeah. Well, and back then, too, there wasn't as many females in law enforcement in general. Yeah. So, and they gave me the tour of the jail, and they were like, yeah, we don't have any female inmates today. And I was like, I wonder if they send me home. Because I figured I'd just be around female inmates. No, that's not how it works.
You got to be around those.
Yeah.
Guys. Mm-hmm. Wow, was that hard for you?
It was an adjustment, and a lot of people get into it, and they have military background. They're already squared off. Not me. That is not me.
So you had to learn.
I had to learn a lot.
Yeah. Wow. You had to get toughened up a little bit, maybe?
Yeah, sure. Because I wasn't used to any of that, But, it all comes back to one thing I did have going for me was my de-escalation skills, and my heart, and my work ethic.
Well, here's a great example, though, okay, that we teach you. This is a teaching moment, to be honest with you, because you persevered. And that's what we try to teach our girls and boys, despite what's going on, despite your circumstances, your challenges, you got to persevere, okay? You just got to stay with it. Hang in there, okay, if you want it bad enough. That's what you did. I mean, look where you're at today.
Yeah, I really enjoyed the jail. I mean, it was very interesting, which I love people, so it was just very interesting because you have all these different pods, and they all they're like their own animal, their own little community, and it's just fascinating.
How many people? How many persons? How many each pod can hold? How many?
So you'll have one deputy in a pod. You might have 44 inmates.
Really?
Yeah.
That many?
Yes. Yeah.
Jeez.
It's crazy. We have in our jail usually around 120 inmates go through our jail a day,
A day?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. That we're housing,
Wow.
Yeah.
I didn't realize it'd be that many.
It's like a whole nother village,
Yeah, it wouldn't be with 120 people in there.
It's very interesting to me. And I ended up staying in the jail for about 14 years. And I worked my way up to sergeant. But I wasn't as good of a sergeant as I was a corporal. That was my sweet spot. I loved being a corporal because the corporals are the ones that train,
Yeah.
and they support the sergeant,
Yeah.
They're there for the sergeant. They're training the new guys, and you get to really see that development, And nobody struggled as hard as I did. So I had the patience of Mother Teresa.
Was there at any point in time you thought, man, I don't want to do this? Or no?
I honestly don't think I had that moment. I ever thought I had that moment. I had to do it,
Good for you.
I just had to do it. And I enjoyed it, though. I enjoyed it. I really did.
So getting up in the morning wasn't hard for you to go to work?
No, because I'm like, and the thing, our lieutenant, he says this all the time. He's like, how can you dread a job that you don't know what's going to happen the next day? There's no way to dread it because you don't know what you're going to do.
Yeah, we just kind of put that stuff in our minds, right?
Yeah,
sometimes.
but there's no way to do that in law enforcement because you have no idea what you're going to do, what you're going to deal with.
Yeah.
Or who's going to come through the door.
Yeah.
The other thing that kind of kept me going too is the different shifts. Your work is very different depending on what shift you're on. And then each day you come in, you're put in a different area and they're night and day. So our training takes a long time because you've got to be proficient in all those different areas, Whereas if you're running like a big prison, you might only be in the kitchen or in the library or wherever,
What was the toughest challenge of being in the jail? Dealing with unruly guys or just being butts?
No. I wouldn't say that. That's frustrating, but, they're just having a bad day, You don't take anything they're doing personal,
Right.
Probably more challenging for me, just me personally, is like clerical stuff.
Really?
Or new equipment that we're dealing with, But that's just my personality,
Wow. I would have thought it'd been some of the other stuff.
No.
Yeah. I mean, surely you've been hit and you've been involved in altercations.
Yeah. Yeah, it happens.
Yeah.
Wow. It happens.
And being in jail, though, you actually don't have a firearm, right?
No.
Because the worry or what could happen with an inmate getting a hold of that, right?
Yeah. Yep. You're just locked in there with them.
Wow. Man. Yeah. Well, bless your heart, Ash.
Yeah, but I really, really, really liked it. And I figured I would retire in the jail in some capacity. But then I went to the streets. So, and I really enjoyed that too.
Yeah.
You know?
It's a different type of dealing with people, right?
It's way
'Cause
different.
here you're confined.
It's
Here
really
you're
hard to compare the two,
Right.
you know? And they kind of see it as a promotion when you're going from jail to the street. But to me, it's like two completely different jobs, you know?
Yeah.
It's way different, you know? But you're out in the elements, you know? So that's nice,
Yeah.
you know? And you
Especially in winter.
yeah.
I meant not especially winter, but man, I don't know about winter, you know.
Well, summer sometimes.
Yeah, that'd be hot.
Winter.
You have to carry a lot of stuff on you, right? I mean, just right now, I see a lot of stuff. How much that stuff weigh?
Oh, probably between 20 and 30 pounds.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah, I think JJ
Closer to 30, maybe.
mentioned the same thing. I mean, that's an extra 30 pounds on you, man.
It is.
Yeah. And you just get used to it, though, don't you?
Yeah, you do.
Yeah. And you never shot a gun. Obviously, you're trained to.
Yeah.
How'd that go for you?
I mean, and I'm the typical woman driver. Like, I don't mean to say that, but I'm not a good driver. You know.
Gonna get in trouble, man.
Yeah, I am not a good driver. I'm not good with direction. I had to learn all that stuff, you know.
Well, now, I mean, you did it.
But I had to just say, you know what? This is what I'm going to do. But the jump from the jail to patrol, they send you off to academy. Well, you got to get selected to go
Right.
to patrol.
Right.
But they send you off to academy. If you fail out, you're going back to the jail and you're going to start all the way back over.
Oh, man.
You know?
You could get another opportunity, but you got to start over, right?
Yeah, you'll be put back in the, depending on how bad you messed up and what you did, you know. But you'll be back in the jail. But that was a big risk for me, you know, because I knew everything about the jail after 14 years, and I just felt like I needed to constantly be pushing myself because the sheriff's office put so much into me and my development and was so patient with me. I need to be pushing myself.
That's wonderful. That's good. You
know?
look at it that way.
That's how I looked at it,
Yeah.
you know? And I was really at a point where I just felt like I need to be doing more for the sheriff's office, you know?
Right.
So, but it was a good decision. I passed.
Yeah, obviously.
I passed. Brian complains about my driving, and I look at him and I say, I'm a professional driver. Like, you have no idea.
I'd like to hear that. Come on, Brian. That's funny.
Yeah.
Oh, man. So, how many women are in the department? Well, there's quite a few women.
There
She's got
is.
administrative now, right?
Yeah.
Administrative.
There's a lot, but when I started, there was very little. And it was like they would take one, or in our department anyways, there was usually a woman on patrol, but then as soon as she got her feet wet, they'd move her to investigations, because that's really needed to have females in investigations, you know?
Do you have to, in order to get there, you have to go through all the other stuff? You can't just be an investigator, right?
No,
Yeah.
you got to go through it.
Wow.
In fact, we had one girl, she started and she had a degree and she went through patrol, but she had like a real nice degree, you know, but she still got to do the
You still have to do it regardless of the degree.
Yeah.
And that's a good thing, though, I think.
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
But it kind of, you know, there's law enforcement degrees, and it kind of is concerning because you spend all this money on your degree and then start at the beginning. And you really, you know, law enforcement isn't for everybody.
No.
And you get into it and you don't know, you have no idea if it's your thing or not until you're doing it,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
because of the situations we get put in.
Oh my God.
You can't, you don't know how you're going to react.
Yeah, that is true.
And to invest 4 years, 6 years into an education for that one purpose, and then to start at the bottom and realize this isn't what, it's almost smarter to get like a business degree or something like that,
Wow.
And nothing against, law enforcement degrees, but, it's a lot.
Yeah, I mean, it's a huge investment.
Yeah.
Equally, and we need men and women, obviously, that have a passion for it, and you're right, it's not for everybody.
It isn't.
And I tell you what, I too often I think we don't. There are people who don't respect law enforcement, period, and it's unfortunate because you're out there putting your life on the line. Sometimes, not all the time, but there are times when things come up that you're not, all of a sudden just happens, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Has that ever happened during your time where you were kind of thrust in a situation? You don't have to obviously name it.
Yeah. I mean, I've been in dangerous situations,
To the point where you had to draw your gun and all that?
Yeah, I've drawn my gun.
Yeah.
But
is that scary? Well,
it's scary.
I don't mean to put you on the line. I think anytime.
There are times it's scary. And what's funny too is I do a lot of self-talk.
Yeah.
In my head. Yeah. And I didn't realize I did that when I'm scared and
or stressed a little bit. Yeah.
Because sometimes you just have to fake it, and do
what you've been trained to do.
Yeah. So you just kind of rely back on your training and what you've practiced, and you become this other person that you're not really. Yeah. and make a decision and stick with it.
Yeah. You got to follow through.
Yeah.
You can't sit in the middle there, man.
Nope.
Yeah.
No.
Well, can you imagine without law enforcement what our society would be like?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, it'd be chaos, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. We're so blessed, though, to have people like yourself in this profession. I really mean that. And it's unfortunate when you see police officers, the things that happen, that being abused or they throw things at them or, you see it on TV from time to time. And I'm thinking, man, it just, it's unfortunate, but because
it affects our youth too, because I don't feel like we have, young people that are desiring to be cops anymore.
Yeah. And
because of it.
Yeah. And that kind of leads us into a little bit of Real Man, Real Leaders, right? Because Ashley does work with our organization now, and she's presents to our boys on the D.A.R.E program. Okay. And tell us a little bit about that D.A.R.E and what you try to convey to the boys when we have you come and speak to them.
Yeah. So D.A.R.E's been around forever, but they've kind of revamped it a little bit to where they're not so much focusing on this is what it is and this is what it'll do to your brain. It's going back and looking at how do you manage your stress? How do you communicate effectively so that you'll be able to make a decision and communicate that decision or not have any kind of problems with stress and handling peer pressure to where you're going to want to go with those substances to kind of relieve that, or because this group is doing it, I'm going to do it.
Yeah, they put that pressure on you, peer pressure.
Yeah. And so the majority of it is spent on that instead of just all the effects and because they were finding that kids were just curious about this stuff. And now this D.A.R.E officer's coming in and telling them about it. Mm-hmm. Now they know what it looks like and what it does. That doesn't really help because kids are going to make silly decisions.
Yeah. Yeah. They're not fully developed.
No, not until they're 24, 25 years old.
That's why I think what we do is critical at this age, is 5th, 6th grade level. Ashley, I think you would agree. I know.
Yes. I hit it hard 5th and 6th or even before that.
Yeah. Because some of the educational or educators saying after sixth grade,
Yeah.
they've already kind of started determining who they're going to hang out, right? Who they're
going down that path,
right? So the sooner, and that's why we're doing what we're doing. We believe in teaching leadership now. We don't wait. We shouldn't be waiting. I was telling somebody the other day, we have coaches for athletics, right? And we get our boys and girls in a position to be champions, right? Look at the wrestling team. Why aren't we doing that? And maybe there are. I don't know. Why aren't we doing that with academics? Why aren't we doing that with leadership and encouragement? Having coach kids up that way. Because not all kids are athletes, right? But they may be in band. Coach them up and give them the encouragement to keep going. And if they choose to do that. But we have in athletics because we put those kids in, because I was an athlete myself. And it seems like they are always put on a pedestal. And I don't look at it that way anymore. I mean, I think we equally ought to be putting money and resources into other areas, not just athletics. And I think we're getting better at it.
And just the mentorship,
right. Right.
Just having an adult that, a different perspective other than their parents. Right. If they do have a parent
right.
that is connecting with them, hearing it from somebody else, you know?
That's the other part of it. Some of these kids don't. They have one parent. We've had a situation where a boy had neither parent, and they were staying with their grandma. I have a kid now, great kid, doing well. I think he struggles a little bit in school, but he shows up every time, and he does the right thing. His dad is in El Salvador. I'm not sure where his mom's at, so he's living with his uncle. That kind of, and his uncle's taking care of him. So at least there's a father figure, but these kids come from all different backgrounds. And I want to, I make it very clear in some of it's just not about Hispanic kids. We get kids from across the board. Yeah. Okay. And we get very smart kids. We've got a kid who has taken some courses, John Hopkins, little Michael, I can't think of his last name. So we get kids from across the board. We're here to teach them leadership. We don't care what they look like, what skin color or anything, or what language they speak. They want in our program. That's what we're working with. But I didn't mean to veer off, but I guess my point is that we've got to get if they're thinking about law enforcement, what encouraging words would you use? If a young lady, Ashley, I think what you do is cool. I'm sure you've heard that before. What advice would you give them? And I know they're young, but we got to do it now. We don't wait till they're in high school.
Yeah, no.
What would you say to them?
Well, there's a program through the Garden City Police Department. I'm actually an advisor, and it's called the Explorers Program.
That's right. You brought that up earlier.
And it's really cool. My son's doing it right now, and we put the kids through a boot camp.
Good.
So they get a lot of the same training we get. We give them a graduation, and then they go out and work the parades, the events, There's a lot of different positions that you can be in, not just with my department, but the police department. They have like one, I forgot the name of the position, but they have like, once you turn 18, you can go to something called a cold call, which is like a call that maybe somebody's just reporting a theft or something.
They can go
something
on,
where
they go along on that.
No, they'd be maybe by themselves, but it would be a low risk call.
Gotcha. Wow.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So there are things they can do prior. Get your feet wet and find out if that's something you're going to enjoy or not. Go on ride-alongs.
Yeah.
You can always do ride-alongs. But the Explorer program's pretty cool, too.
And where's that start at?
What do you mean?
At what grade?
At what age? 14 all the way up to 21.
Oh, cool. I didn't know it went that long.
Because you cannot be an officer until you're 21. Yeah. So definitely there are things you can do before.
How can that be, Ashley? You can go to war at 18.
I know. But
I never thought about that, I guess.
It's crazy, though. We've had jailers that have been 18. Like, we had one that started on their birthday. It's crazy to see an 18-year-old in with 44 men, criminals, and tell them when to eat, when to sleep, you know?
Wow.
Put that uniform on. That takes guts to be that young.
Again, yeah.
You know?
Getting over that. I'm sure he had a little bit of apprehensiveness, right?
Yeah.
Maybe a little bit of fear, but he did it, right?
Yep.
He did it. And another moment to learn that you just got to persevere and hang in there and just to get through it, go through it. Because you're on the other side, you tend to be better for you, I think. So the Explorers, well, I didn't know you can be in there that so long, until 21.
Until you're 21, yeah. It's a pretty good program.
Yeah, I've heard of it, I've heard of it.
We took them out to the range the other day, and that was interesting.
Our boys?
No,
the Explorers.
The Explorers,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
No, your boys are going to start D.A.R.E with me this summer.
Yeah, cool.
So,
Well, we're going to try to get the girls going too.
sure. And
We'll figure that out.
yeah.
We'll figure that out.
But I know the boys, I've got with Jonas, and I already know the boys are
Yeah.
signed up to do D.A.R.E
Yeah.
for 10 weeks.
It's a great program. I mean, but we incorporate other things, right? We incorporate some outdoor activities.
I think they go swimming. Last year they went swimming.
Well, we had a party at your place. You were
Yeah.
nice enough to at your mom's place.
Yep.
It was great. Thank you for doing that. That's that incentive or reward for going through it and sticking with it.
I think they got shoes too.
Yeah, they did.
Yep.
They did. So that's good because we want our boys that if they stick with it, get through it, there's going to be reward on the other side. And most of them do. Most of our boys keep coming back and wanting to learn, and we want to keep them as long as they want to stay in, until they're out of high school, basically. If they're in college and are here, we want them to come back and help us out. But what you're doing is great because it really improved our summer program, to be honest with you, because you've got your piece, and then we have the outdoor piece. And what we're trying to do is the overall wellness of the body, physical, mental, of course, your part and so forth, the educational piece, but the substance abuse and how it can really harm you and in a bad way if you continue down that road. So our summer program has really gotten it's a good program now. We got it where we really like it. So thank you for doing that. Is there anything else you want to share with leadership? Just tell us in your own words. You may not view yourself as a leader, but you really are. I mean, it's we all of us in these positions where you're going out and talking to these kids. They look up to you. You're an officer of the law, right? You carry a gun. I mean, there's some people do look up. Some people look up to the law enforcement with respect, and as they should, because again, you're putting your life on the line at times, and you're running into something usually when most people are running away from it, when there's confrontation or something going on. But, is there anything you would share, like anything in a leadership way that you would encourage kids? And I think you've already kind of talked about it, how you just got to persevere and do it because you were trying to figure out what you wanted to do in life, right?
Yeah.
And
yeah. I mean, I don't know. I can tell you what I like about good leaders.
Please do.
I like somebody that is going to work alongside me.
Okay.
I like somebody that has respect for their team, and you can tell that, I'm going to work a lot harder for you.
Yeah.
If I can tell you you're with me and you get it and I'm trying,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And that's the other thing we try to teach boys. Okay. And now the girls is that when you get in the real world, you kind of work as teams. I don't care if it's in the corporate world or in law enforcement. You work as a team.
And sometimes it's your turn to step up and be the leader.
There you go.
And sometimes it's not. You
Yeah.
know, you
Yeah.
got to be able to do
both.
Yep.
You know, there's time to be a follower. There's time to be a leader.
Yep.
Yeah.
And know the difference too.
Yeah. Well, good. So, well, we hope you continue to do what you're doing.
I definitely hope I do. Yeah. No, it's been fun, you know. It's been fun working with the boys. I see them out at events all the time because we're working the same events. They're always out, you know, serving their community just like I am.
Yeah, and that's important. We believe in that servant leadership. Yeah. That's a component of what we do. We believe it's very important, and they like doing it. They like going out and you know, doing whatever they need to do because they're out and about. So servant leadership is big with us, you know, and we appreciate you working with them, you know, and now we're going to get the girls engaged, and that's going to grow, by the way. We're just getting started with that.
Yeah,
and,
I'm really excited to work with the girls.
Yeah, yeah, I think that door's going to blow wide open once we're able to accept more girls. You know, we had 53 applications. And Charles Stones, we just, like I said, you're part of the committee. We just wanted to take the 15 girls, okay, because of resources and manpower. We have to be very careful. And of course, we've lost 2 or 3 of them, but that's okay. It's all new. That will change. We're not quite as structured yet as we want, you know, with the boys. We need to get the girls out more. We need to get them engaged more. They need to be able to volunteer, and because they want to. They keep saying, "Hey, when are we going to get to do that? Hey, when are we going to get to do that?"
Yeah.
And they'll get there. And I can't wait till even getting them through the hunter safety course and learn, so they can learn to use long gun and hunting and you know, the safety of guns and so forth. I know that'll take off as well.
Yeah.
So we're excited about all that. And again, we appreciate you helping us because we believe it's impactful, and that's what it's all about. You know, it's helping these young people to think before they make some of their decisions. And we tell them to. They're, you know, if they're not growing, if they're not making mistakes, right? You know, that's how we all grow.
Yep, that's how I grow. That's the only way.
I think all of us
stay about that.
All of us do.
Yeah.
Have done that, right?
Yep.
And you just keep, as an adult and as you mature, you just keep getting better, hopefully.
And you gotta, you know, be able to say, "Hey, I messed up."
Yeah.
Because if you try to
own it, right?
Yeah, own it. If you try to say, "Well, it was because of this or that,"
and with
you're
kids,
gonna make that mistake again.
Well, you have two. You have 2 boys.
Yeah.
Sorry, my kids are grown now, but there's it's always somebody else's fault, or you know. But as they get older, they realize, you know, you got to own it. You know, you have to have skin in the game, and because it's about integrity too and character. You know, eventually. So, well, we appreciate you being on, and thank you so much. Maybe one of these days we'll have you back on, and well, we thank you for your service too, and what you do for our community, and it means a lot to us, and we're glad you're in the position that you're in, and we got to get you in front of the girls, because I think you'll inspire some to maybe go into law enforcement. I really do believe that.
Well, we need people.
Yeah, you do. Before we end, though, I'm guessing you know, I've had the opportunity to serve on the city commission and do all those things, and it was always a challenge for our police department and sheriff's department. They are always constantly recruiting. Is that still the case?
It is still an issue.
Yeah.
I don't know how many we're down, but it's bad.
And that's not good because you got such territory to cover, right?
Yeah.
And
Finney County is the second largest county, you know, square mileage
throughout the state, right?
Kansas.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. A lot of ground to cover.
Yep.
You know, so well, anyway, we appreciate you.
Yeah.
Hey, this ends this podcast for today. We want to thank Ashley and the service to our community, you know, being at the Sheriff's Department. Don't forget Alzarape here. go give Eileen and Miguel a shout. And we just thank you for tuning in. Okay. Next time, come be with us next time.